So this is the larynx, and this is what I have to build for a class for a choir class. I am using the epiglottis, which is that I'm making out of gummy worms. You'll notice that a lot of this stuff is gummy because it's pliable. For my hyoid bone, which is this, I wanted to use sugar daddies, but then I remembered that they were on a stick. So we got these bits of honey, and they're very, very hard, which is good for a bone. For the arytenoids, we got gummy bears. For the vocal folds, I need fruit by the foot. I really wanted fruit roll-ups, but Walmart was out of those. And I'm also going to use another color for the muscles and ligament just because it's easy. For the thyroid cartilage, which is basically your Adam's apple, I'm going to use a Tootsie Pop because it's, an Adam's apple. And then you also have to have a part that attaches to it, which is that. And for that, I have Taffy. For the cricoid cartilage, I have Tootsie Rolls. And this is also going to be my trachea. I have Jolly Ranchers for any extra bone. I have this. Pixie Sticks for tendons and ligaments. I have Rice Krispie Treats. I don't really have a plan for those, but I figured it's easy to mold. So if I need to mold anything else that I missed, these are easy to do, and it was only $1. And I also have Peach Squares, because if you'll notice on the trachea, there are several different rings, and these are going to make part of those rings. All of this, I'm going to put it together with hot glue sticks, and I'm going to mount it on this board. It's just a board. These were $7. 50 hot glue sticks, $7. Altogether, this cost $25.76. I need a circle for my base of the trachea, so I'm just going to take this straw, which is a circle at the bottom, and trace it all the way around. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's on wood, so it's not going to be perfect. And then I'm just going to start hot gluing Tootsie Rolls all around. I'm just putting on the hot glue and sticking the Tootsie Rolls. You might want to put a little glue in between the Tootsie Rolls. I think I'm going to do that on this next one. I think that'll help keep it a solid foundation. And just in case I burn my fingers, which will happen, I have a bowl of water. It's cold, just to dip my fingers in real quick if I need it, which I know I end up will. So I ran out of Tootsie Rolls because in that little bag there only is like 30 in there. It's teeny. So we went back to Walmart again and spent another $6 on the big bag of Tootsie Rolls, and I got another little bag of Taffy because I was afraid we were going to run out. I just burned the crap out of myself, which is nice, which is why the water is there.
But this is how far you are.
This is how far I am. I have gone through like 7 hot glue sticks. Trachea. Now I'm just going in with hot glue around the sides and just filling in those little holes in between the little Tootsie Roll bricks. That way it'll be really, really sturdy and stable. Even if they're really small, it can still be a weak part in your infrastructure, and you do not want it to collapse. I need scissors to open my peach squares. Peach circles. I'm going to open them up. Maybe. Yep, I'm going to open them up. And if you can see there's different layers on that trachea. There are different things. So I'm just going to simply take these and go around like so, and connect them all. Then, with hot glue, then I'm going to take these, cut them to size, and put them right in here, and they're going to be my vocal ligaments that rub together and actually make noise as you sing. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this without burning myself. I figure I did not pick the best way to do that. That's not going to stick. Hold on. The only bad thing about going ahead and gluing the Tootsie Rolls onto here, I realize in hindsight that I can't flip it over to turn it to do things like this. So you might not want to glue it down onto your board until you are finished with it all. And I'll clean up the edges later. So I've decided to just, instead of cutting the pixie sticks, I'm going to just try to fold them to size and put them in there. And I'm just going to hot glue them. Right in. And I'm probably also going to tuck that extra little fold under there so where it doesn't show. And hot glue that in place as well. And I'm just going to do this across. Now I've got my cricoid cartilage and my thyroid. I'm going to make the thyroid cartilage, which is this part, and then I'm going to glue the bone onto the outside. I'm making the cricoid cartilage out of this Taffy. I think it was $2 at Walmart for that bag. And I don't think it'll take too much, so I'm just going to make this side first and see how it turns out. And I'm going to use a dot of hot glue to keep it together. All I'm doing is trying to flatten out the Laffy Taffy. Well, it's just Taffy, not Laffy Taffy. I'm just trying to flatten it out to make what I have go as far as it will. That's perfect. We took a blow pop and cut the stick off to make the Adam's apple, which is also known as the thyroid cartilage. I'm just going to hot glue these together. Gummy worm epiglottis. Now we just put it on there with hot glue. Now we're going to make the thyroid cartilage, which is the Rice Krispie treat. I'm just molding that with my hands. The Adam's apple we made out of the blow pop, and we just also put that on there with hot glue. Open up my fruit by the foot. These are going to be my true vocal folds, because obviously it has to be folded. I'm going to use a flavor that I don't like. I had my part of my thyroid cartilage in place. I'm just going to hot glue it on right now. Ta-da! So I just folded the fruit roll up, if you can see that. And all I'm going to do is just attach it by hot gluing. It's actually nice for me to have fruit roll ups because it was thinner. So I'm just going to do a line of hot glue. If you can tell, hot glue is the answer to all problems. And kebab sticks. Kebab sticks have been really helpful as we've been doing the structure of all this. I'm just going to hold this on because sometimes the sugar does not like to stick as well as I would like it to. So these are just gummy bears. I got them at Walmart. I'm going to eat one. These are going to be my arytenoids. And I'm going to make them both green so they really stand out. And they go. Right here. I think. Yeah, right here. On the outside and one right there. I'm just going to hot glue them on. So now I'm just going to go over it, make sure I have all the parts. I have my trachea and the cricoid cartilage, which makes rings around it. This is just my ligament. If you can see back here, it has strands of ligament and muscle. That's just what this taffy is, just to hold everything together, and it worked pretty well. And I'll show you the supports we had to use for that in just a minute. Attached to that is my thyroid cartilage right here. And the thyroid cartilage is supposed to come up with this, the ligament, to form the Adam's apple, which is right there. Then if you can see in here, see the pixie sticks? Those are the vocal cords, and as you sing, those actually rub together, and that's what makes the noise. Right here are your true vocal folds, the fruit roll-up. These green gummy bears are your retinoids, and the gummy bear is the epiglottis. To make the gummy bears, or not gummy bears, gummy worms stick together, we had to put toothpicks in them and things like that, and used a lot of hot glue. Now I'm going to show you the back, which is frightening. We found that the Laffy Taffy was not wanting to stay up. The cat is trying to attack my larynx. Hello. Didn't want to stay up, so we had to build structured supports, and by we, I mean my dad. Because hot glue in my hands is not safe. One last thing, I'm going to put this back in the freezer, and actually in between putting all this together, right after we molded the taffy and put it in, we put it in the freezer, and now I'm going to put it back in because when you don't, and it's at room temperature, it gets hot, and it becomes too pliable, and it moves and bends and collapses, and that is the last thing that you want. My dad is going to cut off the top of a few of the sticks, just because I'm letting him do it because they're too hard for me to get. He's doing it with a pair of wire cutters. However, we are going to leave these back ones up because those are the vocal parts that go up into your throat. But he is going to cut these 3 off as well. I'm just going to take some toothpicks and put it in where everything is, like the epiglottis and the true vocal folds and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just going to put toothpicks with pieces of paper on them just so everybody knows what everything is.